Crafty. Getting ready to start the peak performance. Hey everyone, how are you this evening? Now we went from that jazzy music to the warm and cozy piano tonight. And you could be anywhere, but you chose to be with me tonight talking about the importance of providing value. Now, things have changed in the last decade. Providing value now is a little different than it was 10 years ago. And I talked to about a dozen business owners over the last 3 weeks to get a sense of what was important to them. How did they want sales reps that were prospecting them to show value? How did they want to be shown value as a client? And I'll be honest with you, I was shocked by what they shared with me. Things have really gone off kilter these days, and they were expressing their concern as well. So here is what we're going to be covering tonight. We're going to be covering an overview more deeper than what I just shared. What does providing value actually look like? And then I'm going to give you some tips and stories, okay? But I would also like to share with you the 4-week Sales Creator Workbook. It's a free gift because my videos are a gift to you. I realize you could be doing anything else, but instead you're here learning. And even if you rewatch it on a replay, or you're not here tonight and you watch it on a replay, that's time that you have spent investing in yourself. So I want to give you a little free gift called 4-week Sales Creator Workbook. And it's kind of a reminder and a guide to keep you on track for an entire month to focus on the things that are important. Okay, in sales that is. So let's get back to the overview, okay, folks? So as I said, sales in 2024 is different. It's not just using a sales process that helps you provide value. It's more about creating an experience, a journey, a partnership, a collaboration that the prospect and client can relate to. It's kind of melding together tech, strategy, and resourcefulness to create customer loyalty. It's loyalty you're after, not customer satisfaction. Think about that. Jeffrey Gitomer used to talk about this a lot, and that is, if you're only shooting for customer satisfaction and you miss it, then you're down in customer dissatisfaction and they'll probably leave. And I've already done a video on that. If you're having problems retaining customers, you might want to check that video out. But as I said earlier, let me get a drink. In the last few weeks, I spoke to over a dozen business owners about this very topic. And here's what they told me. This to them is now providing value. And it's really sad, to tell you the truth. Number one is delivering products or services on time. Can you believe that's the number one thing they want? Is for reps to deliver their product and services on time. Then it's showing up on time whether face-to-face or Zoom. I mean, back in the day, a decade ago, you would never dare to show up late for a meeting if for some unseen reason you were showing up late for a meeting. You would call ahead and let that person know why you're going to be late. You just wouldn't just show up. And I got to tell you, even on Zoom meetings, people are showing up. I know this to be true because it happens to me. You know, all they have to do is get on Zoom, and they can't even get on Zoom on time. So can you believe that business owners told me that if they show up on time, that's now considered value? The other thing they would like is help on developing their business. Now, this is something that I did all the time. When I was in group benefits, I would connect people to help them grow their business. And then that leads to the next one, and that is referring other vendors that could help them. So if you know of a specific issue or problem that they're having, refer other vendors to them that you know could help their business. That's why you have to widen your horizons when you're a sales rep so that you are, putting people together. You're a networker, so to speak. Now, this next one is another one that blows my mind. Business owners consider value when you answer your phone when they call. Yeah, that's right. And then the last one is having the discipline to actually follow up. So I have a personal story about the follow-up one. But answer your phone when they call. In my day, that was common courtesy that you would do that. But last year, I think it was last year, I had a sales rep say to me, well, the reason why I don't answer my phone when the prospect or client calls is because I want them to believe that I'm busy. And I'm like, what? What? You're playing games with them? Because that's really what it is. It's game playing. And how do you instill trust if every time they call, it goes to voicemail? All right. I mean, you should never be playing games if you want to develop trust and, more importantly, loyalty. Okay. Having the discipline to follow up. That is, again, another mind-blowing item that business owners now see as value. Here's my story. I've been trying to publish my book, and I've gone through quite a few different publishers. Either I wasn't a fit for them or I didn't like what they offered. So, and I don't mean like the big publishing houses. I mean small publishing houses and or self-publishing, people that help with self-publishing. Well, this one lady that I have followed for almost 8 years now, I reached out to her on LinkedIn, and she said, sure, I'd be very interested in talking to you about your book. Do you have some time later today or tomorrow afternoon? Now, mind you, this was 2 weeks ago, and I emailed her back within 5 minutes, and I said, oh, Thursday would be fine. Here are the times that I'm available. Do any of these times fit into your schedule? If not, let me know what's best for you, and I'll see if I can try to move something so I can accommodate your schedule. So by the end of the day, I went back to LinkedIn to see if she had viewed my in-mail response to her, and she had, but there was no comment. I mean, there was no response back. So I emailed her back again and I said, did any of those dates work out, or did any of those times work out for you? I'm anxious to get the ball rolling. And so the next morning, which was Thursday, I looked again, no response. So the next day I looked again, which was Friday, no response. So I let it go. And then the following Monday, I sent her another message. So in the course of a week, I sent her 5 messages. And here I am, a prospect, trying to get a conversation with her about providing a service for me. And she doesn't even answer me. I mean, I'm a prospect. And there was crickets. It's been crickets ever since. So I take that as, and I could see that she has viewed every one of my responses. So it's like, what is that all about? Right? Why would you treat a prospect that way? If I don't feel I'm a fit with someone, I tell them right up front. I let them know right away. That is the ethical thing to do, the professional thing to do. So I don't know what's going on, but she has never responded after she said she was willing to meet with me that afternoon or Thursday. Don't know what happened, folks, but you should never treat a prospect that way, right? So here is something that I came across, and that's my overview. And let's talk about, what does providing value look like? Okay. There were times in my group benefit days, and that goes back 10 years. I mean, I left the group benefits market in, I got to think, 2012 or 2013. It was 2013 because my dad died in February of 2013, and Principal Insurance Company, who I was a senior account executive at the time, wouldn't let me take time off to be with my dad. Isn't that unbelievable? And they always preach workplace balance. That's when I left the group benefit arena, was then because of that. Put me under a bunch of stress, I can't tell you. So when I was meeting with benefit managers and large groups and producers and brokers and the whole bit, I didn't want to do the traditional gifts. And I used to give books out. If I saw a book that I thought would fit a particular person's industry or position that they were in, at Christmas time, I would give them a book. And, I always got such great compliments on that. And then it got to be such a thing that, people would say to me, "What's the book going to be this year, Christine?" So that made me really happy that I knew that those little touches were providing value for them and helping them. One year, though, and this happened with one of my current clients, or I should say a former client. Oh gosh, I want to say this is 6 or 7 years ago. So I went to do a workshop for her team. And in her office, she had a beautiful Waterford crystal vase. And it was very similar to the one my mother had, which I now have. I just absolutely love that vase or vase. And one year I sent her a Waterford crystal vase. I took it to the florist in her area because I didn't want to ship it there. and I was going to be there anyhow. So I took the vase, had them do a beautiful flower arrangement in it, and then I hand delivered it to her. And she has never forgotten that. She has told me that she just loves that vase. But that's just something, that I used to do back in the day. And, I still try to do those little things for my current clients. But let's talk about 2024. They don't even want gifts. They don't even want football passes. They just want sales reps to do their job. That's their providing value that they want, which is just mind-blowing. So I'm going to assume you all are doing all of these things. You are delivering your products and services on time. You're showing up on time, whether it's face-to-face or over Zoom. You're helping business owners to develop their business. You're referring vendors to them that can help them. You answer their call and you take their call when they call you, and you have the discipline to follow up. I bet you do all those things. So let me give you some tips. Let me give you some other things you can do in 2024. Here's one. Let your personality out. Don't be stiff all the time and professional all the time. Let it out. Let your personality shine. And I want to caution you not to let it shine too much. You don't want to be one of these people that gives out too much information. But what I mean by let your personality shine is this. In this book by Stu Heineck, Get the Meeting. I don't know if you've heard of him, but I have got every one of his books. How to Grow Your Business Like a Weed, and then How to Get a Meeting with Anyone. If you need ideas on how to provide value, these are great books to read. But here's the one, if I can find it now. I should have bookmarked it. Hold on. Here it is. You see that? And it says, Alex Perkins serenades prospects in videos. He serenades prospects in videos. It says, when Alex Perkins records personalized videos for his prospects, he puts his personality on full display. Alex likes to sing, so naturally his outreach efforts involve original songs about each recipient. Isn't that cool? Now, I don't know if I can do that. I certainly can't sing to them. They would probably run and scream. But let your personality out. And I want to recommend this book. It is so good. He has lots of illustrations in here about different things you can do. It's just a very clever book. And when you're doing those things, you're marketing yourself. You're marketing your brand. Don't be afraid to have a brand, even if you're working for someone else. Be known for something that's just you. You know what I mean? Isn't that cool? Just be known for something that's just you. So another thing is proactive customer support. Remember when we used to anticipate the prospect's needs, anticipate the client's needs, and give it to them ahead of time? Remember when we used to do those things? I don't know why it all stopped. But here is another important thing. Now, you may not consider yourself being customer service, but you are. And that is give customer service with a real person. Okay? A real person. And one of the things that I just want to recommend to you, let me tell you a story. When I was in the group benefits days, I was at the office. It was after 5, and I don't know why I was there, but I was there after 5 working and getting ready for the next day. The phone rang and I picked it up. So it wasn't my phone. It was somebody else's phone in the office, and I went ahead and picked it up. And it was a school superintendent. We did a lot of group benefits for schools then. And this school superintendent was just livid. There was a mistake made. He had been trying to get a hold of the account executive all week, couldn't get a hold of the account executive all week. And I took the call, and he right away just tears in. And I said, well, I'm really glad you got me, sir, because I am going to help you. And he said, well, you're not my account executive. I said, I understand that, but I am going to help you. And if I can't help you, I know the office manager will help you. The sales manager will help you. So I talked to him for about 45 minutes on the phone, got the details, told him that the underwriting department had left. There was no way I could get a hold of anybody, but I would make sure that this would be resolved the next day. So the next day I was on the road, so I called in, talked to the sales manager, told him what the issues were. And then that whole day, all I did was try to fix this issue. Now, was it my problem? No, it wasn't even my account. But that's customer service, everyone. I worked for the same company. In my mind, I had the same responsibility to that client, even though that client wasn't mine. And we all should have that attitude, right? We should all have that attitude. Gosh, I'm trying to sit here and think how long ago that was. I think that was about 15 years ago. But even though you're in sales, you're still providing service. Either you're helping especially if you've sold a product. And this is what's so difficult about doing these videos in general, because your industry may work totally different than another industry. I mean, there are some pieces that will match, but maybe you don't do the onboarding. Maybe once the product is sold, it's passed off to another team. Stay connected to that team and make sure that the onboarding is going smooth. If you're prospecting someone and, it's a longer sales cycle than a shorter sales cycle, stay in touch. I've said this over and over again. You can just even call the person and say, hey, last time we talked, you said that you may be gone because your daughter may need surgery. Bob, how did it go? Is your daughter okay? I'm not calling you about anything but to find out how your daughter's doing. They appreciate that. You don't have to be pushing, selling every time you have a touch point. A touch point could be sharing information. That's it. With no other agenda other than to share information and help them build their business. So, keep these things in mind. Think about what would you want as value if you were a prospect or if you were a customer? What kind of value would impact you? Think about that. And you all know this. You're always putting yourself into the shoes of the prospect and the customer. As hard as that is, you want to make sure that you do that. Okay? All right. It doesn't look like, no, I don't see that we have any comments or questions. And I want you to be able to leave comments and questions as we go along. But what I do want you to do, since we're wrapping things up, if you're coming in late or you came in halfway through, you can always see the replay on my YouTube channel. You just go to the Savvy Sales Lady Live. You just hit the live tab, and all of the live videos were dropped down, and you can review the replay there. And then next week, oh my gosh, we've got a fun one coming up about motivation and your mojo. That one's going to be a fun one. And I have lots of information to share on that. And just remember, sales is a journey, not a quick trip around the block. And I'll see you all on, oh no, it's Thursday. Oh my gosh, today's Tuesday. The Mojo one's on Thursday. Totally forgot. Yep, it's on Thursday. So I'll see you Thursday at 7 p.m. on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.